Thank you. And welcome to the culmination of the National Forensic League's spoken word poetry competition. Tonight we will hear from 4 original poets who competed by placing their poems online in a performance and then being judged as to how they performed those. One of the methods that we used to determine who advanced to the semifinals is we asked each of those individuals to do everything they could to get as many likes on YouTube and Facebook for their performances. And we were quite taken aback by some of the numbers that we received. In fact, if I could have her make her way up here, we had a young lady from Millard West High School in Nebraska. Here she comes. Whose spoken word poetry received 68,000 likes on Facebook and YouTube. Her name is Richa Sarohi, and she is, like I said, from Millard North in Nebraska. And Millard West. I mentioned the wrong Millard. Millard West, the West Millards. And she received, as I said, 68,000 people liked and viewed her YouTube video of her spoken word poetry. And because of the kind of exposure that she brought to the National Forensic League and to our programs, the National Forensic League has awarded Ms. Sarohi a $250 scholarship for her use. So we congratulate her. Congratulations. All right. Now we have 4 live performances before we get to the creme de la creme in Daniel Beatty. Now, one of the things that I need to tell you is that we need to have your cell phones off, and there cannot be any photography of any of these performances. So make sure you get all of that stuff taken care of. But our first speaker from Lincoln High School in Oregon, performing Wade, Annika Hansteen Izora.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wait a minute. Do you hear it? The ghostly hymns of my past blood seeping into the ridges of my mind's dark corners, the light of their voices searching for the screams I've kept contained in my cranium's crevices, their metal-mangled ankles ringing against my rib cage as they marched and marched, the iron around their ankles, tasting like penny in my blood. See, their songs have always been here, weaved under the skin as my grandmother knotted nappy hair to thick braids, home smelling of cocoa butter, gumbo, piano rhythm. But there those melodies remained as nappy-haired child grew to nappy-haired woman, sailing on the blessings of her mother and father's smiles. See, I was raised to believe that these hands could crack diamonds to dust, raised to say, screw you to the stars, aim for blackness, because my capabilities are infinite. My dad built me a rocket ship of strong hands and white teeth, saying I could claim worlds, but Sometimes I feel no matter the planets I flag, I'm always just another black girl. 1 year and 4 months ago, when hoodies and Skittle packets scorched out Florida sunrise, my father set my little brothers before him. Rowan is a freshman in the fall. He likes Coldplay, computers, and the color blue. Kai is 13 in September. He plays lacrosse and wears a smile that lights up the darkness. And my father explained to them, this is what you do at gunpoint. You say your mother is a teacher, got 2 sisters and a brother. You eat dinner with them every evening. You've watched Lord of the Rings 9, 10, 11 times. You try and make yourself appear human. I didn't know we needed a reminder. And the porcelain cup within my chest shattered, wanted to scream at my father, no, don't let them know, and cried out as the halos above their heads fell to chains around their neck. The innocence in their eyes burned like 1,000 charred cherry trunks. They knew then that in so many people's eyes, they were just 2 other black boys. 5 times more likely to be arrested, 40% of the 2.1 million jail inmates, 3% of my 1,500 students in high school, 2 little brothers, 1 shot to the heart, bang, 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 sane, sane, sane. My ancestors of not a dreamy hope, but of a caged reality. And the key was thrown away long ago, and so they broke bars with the unstoppable strength of determination. And see, I know the poverty plagues the ghettos of my nation, but all I see is when my ancestors were stuck in chains and couldn't even get the legal last name of someone they loved, they kept on fighting. And so I would never let myself or my 2 brothers or my youngest sister become a statistic, because despite the judging eyes and the smiles and the surprise of a black girl in 4 IB classes and a 2,300 test score, rapping her rhythms in debate competitions rather than rambling repetitions of non-existent ambitions, I encompass the infinity of 1,000 black skies, and let those past hymns of my past blood wash over me as I wade and wade and wade through the water.
All right. Fantastic. That was Annika Hansteen Izora from Lincoln High School in Oregon. And now, excellent. And now, performing her original poem, Car Crashes, from Chelmsford High School in Massachusetts, Erin Phillips.
We are taped together haphazardly, the hollow inches in between Boomtown and Ghost Town, weighed down like napkins on a picnic table with stones skipping smoothly through cracks in the plaster. We are only shining in our own reflections. Out of the corners of our eyes and corners gathering dust, we feel more comfortable seeing our faces on computer screens than in mirrors. Car crashes. Under our eyelids and our fingernails, our skin cells have been drinking in the world around us, but our ears have not. Instead, we have been blaring our horns. Blow, Gabriel, blow. There are 8 feet of snow covering our picket fences that we do not even know how to begin to melt. Perched on a rock wall, you can see our spines cracking like ice, our snowmobile hands gliding over everything we could possibly need to shine sunbeams on our futures. Our future is a 3D movie our present a set of false eyelashes. Our ability to see what is happening is cloudy with a chance of denial. We are content to catch snowflakes on our tongues and swallow them, never once tasting acid, but slowly burning from the inside out. Not until at least 5 years later will we wake up to find scorch marks on our stomachs from the car crashes that have become our heartbeats. Not until jobs, lovers, electric bills, and ticking clocks start skidding over our guts will they become calloused enough to take what we have been dealing with for the past decade. Because we are not dealing with our own breaths. We are shoving them under our pillows until the next alarm clock, like an ice water bath coming to shake us out of better days. How many times does it have to ring for someone else to hear it? This is one of those questions we never ask out loud because it is upsetting and hard to swallow. Like these hailstones falling on our palms should be, like the poison in our lungs should be. For some people, a spoonful of sugar is the only way to take their daily doses of reality. But some know that if your mouth gets too sweet, you may forget the taste of salt. And it is crucial that we do not. The moment we forget is the moment our alarm clock will break. This is the moment the rhythm of our world fades and we stop ticking. It sounds appealing, but remember, there is a way to dance to every beat. Even the harsh repetition of your hands can be a drum circle. So dip your feet in ink. Take time by the waist and lead your life in a box step. Look down and witness the map of everything you could be. Not the box you have drawn, but the empty space outside of it. Do not step back in. There lie the true monsters. And do not ever retrace your steps. Instead, look back at each new footprint you leave. Trace it in the air with your finger and kiss it goodnight.
Phillips, Erin Phillips, fantastic. All right, our next performer from Westlake High School in Texas. Performing Something to Do with Peter, Emma Bleker.
I do not remember a time when I did not use the phrase, "You will be older one day," to comfort myself. So then isn't it fitting that my first love was the boy who was fated to never grow up? He sang birds' music of capturing pirates, where in all actuality, with all of its irony, we were the pirates, with our stolen family photos and inconsistent floating homes. Each night he would come home and name himself king before laughing so loudly you'd think he was happy. His toes curled so gently you'd think he had wings. When he got sad or angry, he used things like knives or sword play to dance the tips of arguments off of, to dangle this shiny thing that was never used for killing, and instead for games. Right in front of his eyes, just so he could question its functionality, give it different uses, he said, "One day, one of them may fit." This boy had a way of smiling like the supernovas caught his eye, and the silver linings reminded him of all the room in the ever-expanding sky. So fascinated by its luminescence, flying wasn't close enough to the stars he so often dreamed of, couldn't get close enough, he said, so maybe he'd just become one of them. He was my holy water and had no idea how to pronounce religion. He spelled it F-L-Y-I-N-G, and when the air sailing became a bored pastime, he took up learning how to defend something that was never his to begin with. See, that's the trouble with pirates. But if he'd fought as hard for me as he did for Neverland, we'd own a home with pictures of places we'd never been to but were planning to visit over the summer. We always did feel so much like the collision of two wrecking balls intent on destroying themselves with the help of one another. So why didn't you take me with you? This does not feel like pity for the boy who could no longer stretch his truth so far you'd start to think he was never coming back, does not have the same sticky sweet smell as guilt-ridden bedtime trips to your own firebombed subconscious. This feels more like loneliness. The kind of loneliness you can feel in your fingers, the kind you can feel eating its way up your toes and into your hollowed-out chest bones like the veins you tore from the surface one by one. The kind of loneliness that can only be created when two perfectly kind, loving people collide for the first time without the realization that their predisposition to feel lonely will only make things worse when they are no longer alone. Peter, why in the world was that water so tempting? They told you mermaids like to play, so how did you not know that you could drown? She always did take a liking to you. I guess it was only a matter of time before she invited you back to her place. But after that, it was not jealousy, but fear. See, you brought me here, and I do not know where there is a home to go back to. You promised you'd teach me freedom, and all I ever got was this faulty pair of wings in a world where flying was like breathing when you are with some siren under the sea, and she does not know yet that you never learned to breathe under there. She probably just thinks you're quiet. Peter, the day you dove away from me, I was left in this world with these children who never want to grow up. I have drowned every day since the morning you went under beneath the realization that you never got to live to be young forever. You spoke of adventure, but Peter, to be has been an awfully great expenditure.
Something to Do with Peter by Emma Bleker. Each of our student competitors this evening are receiving a $500 scholarship for their participation and success in the spoken word poetry contest. So, excellent. And our final poet this evening for the spoken word contest, from Maple Grove Senior High School in Minnesota, performing Welcome to America, Jason Fotso.
Welcome to the land of the free and the home of the slaves. The land of a dream and the home of the brave. Welcome to a land of a rich diversity of people, every one of them different, but all created equal. Welcome to the land of the red, white, and blue. Welcome to the home of me and you. Welcome to America. This is the greatest of nations, where everyone deserves a gun, but somehow not an education. In this country, if I waste your time, I'm stupid. If I waste your money, I'm a doofus. But if I waste both, that's Mr. Senator to you, kids. I mean, these days, politicians just seem to be a bunch of children. That's probably why they still have a tea party. I remember when I was a kid, and I could tell you this or that happened, but the most important thing I missed was the power to imagine. I lived in a made-up world, stayed scheming while daydreaming. My mind could paint any picture on a blank white ceiling. But they say it's never good to lose your grasp on reality. But actually, I think it's worse to give up on imagining. They say that we die when we stop breathing. But I think we stop living when the child inside of us stops dreaming. I mean, this is America, the land of the dream and the home of the first men to walk on the moon. We did it with spaceships, control centers, and astronauts. And then with the man dressed in black shoes and white socks. And speaking of space, because the sky is never the limit. We haven't walked on Mars yet, but I know we'll get there any minute. Because we Americans envision with ambition. We imagine with passion. This is a country of dreamers, believers, and expectation exceeders. And when it comes to breaking boundaries, we're the world's #1 leaders. So I continue to dream in the land of the free, like that one special man who had that one special dream. Because the black water fountains that he faced are still in persistence. It's just that black lunch tables and black churches now shape its existence. See, black's got a problem that'll forever spread, like the roots of the trees that they hung black from dead. So I speak. Speak like the African drums and the hip-hop beats of Tupac and Biggie. Speak like the memories of tribal hymns and the melodies of Michael and Whitney. Speak like the brave heart that sparked a no from Rosa Parks. Speak like the message that made Martin Luther King Jr. march right here in Birmingham, Alabama. So I speak for peace. Because sure, racism isn't over, but as this country's gotten older, I think it's fair to say that we've gotten much closer. So in 2008, when Barack Obama was announced the winner of the presidential election, I didn't see a Democrat or even a candidate. I simply saw a symbol of progression. So I continue to speak. Speak for the hurt, the hated, the wounded, and the weak. Speak for that one 11th of September that I can barely remember but can still feel as we still heal. Speak for the 20 young angels of Newtown who fell to a tragic fate, but whose stories have grown to speak volumes over hate. Speak, because everyone wants to live a life that isn't harmed by pain. But then again, what is a rainbow without any rain? So I speak for hope. Hope in the fact that hatred will never beat or defeat us, for this is America, where we have the right to love one another. We shall overcome, and we shall never surrender. And please, may you all forever remember, don't speak to impress someone else. Speak to express the true you. And if someone ever brings you down, if someone ever makes you blue, put a mirror on the ceiling if you need someone to look up to. So welcome. Welcome to America, where we've got all sorts of people who are all to be treated equal. So we speak for the homeless, the broke, the children of poverty, the CEOs, the wealthy, and the winners of the lottery, the Republicans of red and the Democrats of blue, the aged and the old, the young and the new, those who are straight and then those who are gay, the black and the white, in fact, for every race. Because no matter your political party, your paycheck, your personality, or your pigment, what makes us Americans all the same is that we take pride in being different. So speak.
Jason Fotso, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Fotso. And how about a round of applause for all of our spoken word competitors for the National Forensic League 2013 Spoken Word Poetry Competition.